What's happening, guys? Joe Munoz, OneStepPrep.com. Hey, I'm here today with a very special guest. Okay, if you see him on the screen, maybe you recognize him, maybe you don't. I tell you one thing, you're going to recognize him pretty soon because this is Diego Lizarazo. Diego is our Director of Sales here at One Step Prep and One Step Prep Academy. Not only that, he's an active airline pilot on the 320. He's got a primarily the part of the reason for the video is because he's got an extremely inspirational story that I wasn't aware about until maybe about a week ago, and then I said, you need to come share the story. It's very inspirational. Diego is working basically at a Chick-fil-A, which I love Chick-fil-A, by the way. Yeah. Okay, and then he always knew he wanted to be a pilot, but he went down the flight attendant route. So imagine Chick-fil-A, flight attendant, into the cockpit of an airline, Director of Sales at One Step Prep Academy. And I know there's probably a lot of you watching this, maybe you are active pilots, and then there's some of you that aren't, right? Some of you are aspiring to be. And it's a long road. I can tell you from personal experience. Diego can tell you. I don't want to ruin the story, and I'm just going to shut up, basically. But tell me, dude. Tell me, like the whole thing. Did you always know you wanted to fly?
Yeah. So thanks for having me here again. First of all,
sure.
I always wanted to be a pilot since I was young. You know, every time my family would travel, I guess the best experience out of the whole thing was to be in an airplane.
Yeah, I love it.
You know, watching out the window, always the window seats and all that. Always knew that I wanted to be a pilot. Obviously, it's not an easy route. Like Joe says here, it's something that it's very hard to get there towards the end. You have to be committed to becoming a pilot. It's going to be hard work. It's going to be something that's going to, make you sleepless a lot of nights, but yeah, you'll get there.
Let me ask you really quick, and I don't mean to cut you off. I have all these thoughts and questions. Okay, you're working at Chick-fil-A.
Yes.
Did you know when you were working at Chick-fil-A that you wanted to fly airplanes?
Yes, I knew since I was 5 years old that I wanted to be an airline pilot.
Okay.
So now here's how it actually went. So I graduated high school and I started a job at Chick-fil-A because I wanted to do something, have my own money, be able to have some freedom.
Right.
It was just a part-time job that I got.
Yeah,
there.
You need have some cash.
Yeah, have some cash. From there, I was already doing my flight training.
Okay. So you're out of high school,
yes,
and you're doing flight training.
Yes.
Okay. Listen to this closely. Those of you that are young and you're like, oh, I'm too young to start. I'm in middle school. I'm in high school. I started in middle school. When I was 13 was my first flight lesson, basically. Wow. And Diego's further validating the fact that you could be in your teens, yes, and training. So if you're thinking I'm too young, don't let people get in your head about you're too young to do any of this stuff because you're not. Those are myths and they're stories and they eat at your intent to pursue your potential. So I guess what I'm getting at is don't listen to any of that. Just be deaf to all that, turn that off. But okay, go ahead, continue. So you get out of high school.
So I actually took my first lesson while I was in high school. I was 17 when I started flying.
Okay.
Like I said, I already knew what I wanted to do. So I became a private pilot at 18 years old. Started working at Chick-fil-A. While I was working half time.
Yeah.
I was also going to training and ended up working through my instrument commercial, my multi. Obviously here in the United States, you need 1,500 hours to get hired by an airline. So
yeah,
you end up, having 250 hours, which is not enough.
Yeah. Would you agree that this is just my experience, and maybe you guys can post in the comments. I don't think I said this already in the video, but post in comments, hit the like button, subscribe, and share this if you haven't already. If you like the content, that makes a big difference for us.
It does.
So Diego's the director of sales, and so he would be the one to tell you as well, man. It makes a big difference. But we appreciate you guys. So let me ask you this question, because this was my case. I graduate with my commercial pilot license. I have 250 hours. I got to get to 1,500. To bridge that gap felt like the most difficult thing.
It does.
Yeah.
It does. It's the hardest part, I guess.
Yeah.
Yes.
So how did you do that?
In my experience, I didn't want to be a CFI. If I had to take that route, I would have, because like I said, it was my goal to become an airline pilot, so I would have done anything. But I decided to actually pay for a little bit of extra flight timeshare with some friends, and then from there, I ended up leaving. I went to Colombia. Took me about a year and a half to get hired by an airline over there. It was a hard process.
And they hired you with
With about approximately 500 hours.
to fly what airplane?
The Airbus A320.
Okay, so for those of you that say, oh, you can't get hired, and this is primarily a thought in the U.S., oh, you can't get hired to fly a 320 with low time, 500 hours, that's a myth. It happens all over the world, it happens all the time.
I actually have a story about that because when I was a flight attendant, I already knew what I wanted to do. I was going to leave and I was going to go to Colombia. And I walked into the cockpit one day and I asked the captain, listen, Captain, what do you suggest I do? How do you suggest I go about it? Because I'm going to go to Colombia and pursue my dream of being a pilot.
Sure.
And he was this old guy. He turned around, he told me, oh, okay, so what are you going to fly? He was expecting me maybe to fly something small or something. I said, no, I'm going to be flying the A320. And he just turned around and said, good luck.
Yeah. As if like just dismissing
Good
you.
luck, you're not going to make it.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
if you're watching this, I made it.
He made it, man. So oh man, see, this is why this story is so inspirational to me. He makes it despite the criticism, the critique, and pretty much this captain that dismissed you as your low time, you don't know what you're doing, whatever.
Yes.
It's funny, yesterday, if you follow us on Instagram, I posted a story that said, I think the success that you'll have as a student, even if you're low time, has less to do with your experience and more to do with the caliber of instructor that's guiding you through your courses.
Yes.
And so anyway, it can be done, I guess is what I'm getting at. And this is living proof of it. And I can tell you as well, just Juan and I instructing a bunch of low time guys and gals. So now, you're a flight attendant, right? Bridge for me, so we got Chick-fil-A, you got an airline pilot, but then there's flight attendant somewhere in the middle, right?
So during the time that I was working at Chick-fil-A, a job fair popped up. Spirit was hiring everybody, pilots, flight attendants, mechanics, everything.
Okay.
Gate agents. So at first, I actually thought it was I wanted to be in the airline industry. Not that I have anything against Chick-fil-A. It was a great place to work, great people, but I wanted to be more in the industry. So I ended up signing up for a job for the job fair. Went to drop out my resume to be a gate agent at first. I didn't make it.
You did not make it?
I didn't pass.
No
I didn't
kidding.
pass the interview. So.
Okay, this is an even better story now.
Yeah, so I didn't pass the interview. About a week later, I got an email saying that they were inviting me to an interview to be a flight attendant. Went to do that, and I ended up passing that same day. They gave me the welcome letter. They told me to go do the drug test and all this. I was happy to be in the airline industry, yet not fully happy because I wanted to be, my ultimate goal was to fly the airplane.
So let me just make sure I'm following the story. So you interview once.
Yes.
And you don't make it.
I interviewed once with a different department and I didn't make it.
And that wasn't for flight attendant?
Gate agent.
Gate agent, okay, disregard. So experience rejection, which you're gonna experience rejection, folks.
Yes.
This is just the reality of life, not the business, not the industry of aviation. This is the reality of life. It's just rejection after rejection after rejection, right? So that's just, rejection to me in this world is as real as gravity. If I throw something up, it comes down. So there's no surprise there. That's just part of this deal. Okay, so you get rejected once.
Yes.
Pop back up.
Yes.
Go do the flight attendant interview.
I did.
You passed that one. Now tell me.
Now, I become a flight attendant, went through the training. I only lasted there 9 months. 9 months later, I wanted to pursue again. I wanted to be flying the airplane. I didn't want to be in the back. Not that I have anything against them because it was a great opportunity, but I just wanted to be in the cockpit.
Sure.
So I decided one day to just, I had a girlfriend back then. We broke up. It was like a motivational situation to just drop everything and
get up and go.
Get up and go. And I ended up just standing up, went to drop off my ID, and headed to Colombia to start a new journey and try to become an airline pilot.
Yeah. So, man, there's so many lessons in this, okay? Here's another lesson for you guys. You got to give up to go up. What does that mean? Give up to go. He had to give up his job as a flight attendant. I'm not saying give up your girlfriends, okay? But in his case, he ended up giving up the girlfriend, okay? But you got to give up whatever you have. In his case, it was that job, primarily what I'm referring to go up to the next level, which was, hey, I want to go actually, further forward in the airplane, so to speak, and sit in the cockpit, right? And have the job as a pilot, right? So anyway, you're actively flying the airplane now.
Yes.
Okay, those of you working at Chick-fil-A or anywhere else and you're thinking of becoming an airline pilot, living proof, breathing right next to me that this can be done. So do it and stop thinking is what I would tell you. Does that sound like sound advice?
It sounds perfect, yeah.
Okay. And then the other thing too is you're actively flying the airplane, and he's the director. If you don't know, okay, Diego basically he's here as, say, all things sales for One Step Prep, One Step Prep Academy. One Step Prep's the online courseware, the videos, this kind of thing that we're doing now here. One Step Prep Academy is the 142 type ratings, the circling restriction removal, the upgrade curriculum, the initial, the recurrent, this kind of thing. Diego is all things sales in both of these. And if you haven't spoke with him yet, he's probably going to blow up your damn phone at some point.
Probably, yeah.
Okay, he's going to blow up your inbox. He's going to call you on the phone, and he's going to ask you, you joined us for a month, and why don't you join us for the whole year?
Yes.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
So anyway, real good guy. I'm sure you're going to meet him at some point, whether via phone, email, or in person. The story is amazing. I feel like I'm talking too much. And
No, not at all. I mean, it's just to tell people. Actually, I got off the phone with somebody about a week ago, and he was telling me that he's a low time guy. He said that he doesn't know whether to pursue his career or not because people tell him that it's impossible. Well, let me tell you, these people that tell you that it's impossible is because they haven't done it, or they don't know what they're talking about.
Yeah.
Because if you want to, you'll make it. So just like I've made it, just like Joe has made it, just like a lot of people have made it.
Yeah.
So just don't get a no for an answer.
Yeah.
Just keep knocking on the door.
Don't let them get in your head.
Yes.
And ask yourself a question. This is just how I approach life, just so you all know. When I'm looking to make a decision, I just fast forward. If God willing, I make it to 80 years and I'm on my deathbed at that point, will I have regretted not doing this? And if the answer is yes, stop thinking and just go do. So I'll leave you with that.
Yes.
Dude, Diego, pleasure, my friend, my brother, my friend. You're gonna hear from him, I'm sure, at some point very soon. We're both always around here, usually as well in Miami. So come by and meet us and link up with us.
Yes.
Take his success story on board because it's something that validates very well that even if you're low time, even if you're no time, even if you're no pilot at all, you have zero license and you're working at a Chick-fil-A, this thing can be done, all right? So appreciate you guys. We'll see you in another video. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Hey, we're back. You see, we ended this recording too soon. Okay, we're back now. I got my one, I'm holding my microphone transmitter pack. But I wanted to share with you, if you go online and use coupon code
Diego 10.
Okay, all right, Diego 10. Coupon code Diego 10, DIEGO10. You're going to get 10% off of anything on our website year round. Any digital product, I should say. Basically, any video product that we have available, you'll get 10% off.
That's a good deal.
It's all thanks to Diego.
Good deal, yeah.
Yeah, man.
I'll do it anytime.
Yeah. So anyway, take advantage of that because we've got a bunch of products out there. We've got a lot more on the way. We're always putting out new content, and I'm sure getting 10% off is never a bad thing for anyone.
Not.
Yeah, man. So anyways, all right. Now we'll end the video. Thanks for tuning in. Like, subscribe, share, comment. We'll see you in another video.
Thank you very much.